Hi, I'm Christy from Govt.com. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the new layout and the audio and video and everything for GovGirl. I would like to know. This video is about should governments sell ads on government websites. If you're checking out this video before August 31st, 2011 at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, check out Local Gov Chat on Twitter. So go to Twitter and follow the hashtag Local Gov Chat. We're going to be talking about this topic and more on there, so hope to see you there. All right, so we are talking about, this is a conversation that comes up every couple of years, but it's hot right now. It's been hot on Twitter, especially over at GovLoop. There's like 6 pages of this conversation. Really good convo. I'm going to try to talk about some new areas, but basically it came out, it's more popular right now because of a Wall Street Journal article that said governments should consider selling advertisements on their websites as a creative revenue source. And so then people are lending their comments on it. And I am a local government web manager, so I have some insight here. So first of all, what are the current rules? The current rules that are, if you have a .gov site, you can't advertise. No advertising is allowed on .gov sites. It's one of their first rules, must be pretty important. However, states and cities and counties, they can have advertising on any other type of domain because there's no restrictions. .gov domains are handled by the federal government, and the GSA has guidelines and rules that your .gov could be taken away if you violate them. So governments, some governments are starting to get around that by having .coms and other top-level domains that don't have those rules. I actually switched from a I switched from a .com to a .gov. We were cityofreno.com, now we're reno.gov. I like the fact that we have higher SEO and we're seen as more trustworthy being the .gov, so that's really why I decided to switch. But I will admit that there are some gray areas when you have a .gov because there's no gray areas with advertising. You're not selling ads, so you don't have advertising. But as far as sponsorship and what is seen as supporting private industry on the site, it's hard to discern. I do think that if governments, so the question is, you could have ads on .com, but should we or shouldn't we? And should we change the rules for .gov so that so that governments can sell ads on the site? Now, I do think that it would be confusing for citizens if we did blanketly allow ads and government started selling ads. I know that a lot of people say, well, you know, citizens are sophisticated enough nowadays to understand what's an ad and what's not. I don't think it's that simple. I was working on a project recently where I had to search for government websites, and all I had was the city name and the state name. So I Googled it. That's basically how everybody finds those sites when they don't know the URLs. I looked at, it had to be 300 websites, or I looked for them. And a lot of times the first result was not the government site. It was a .com that looked very much like a government site, except they sold ads. And there are companies that make money out there by having these sites that look like city government sites, except they do sell ads and they make money off of it. And to get their content for their site, they basically scrape our official government sites for that content. Problem is that content a lot of times is 5 years old because they don't have that vested concern in updating that material. So it really poses a challenge. The only way I knew that those sites were not the government sites was because they had advertising on them. You see the banner ad and your thought is, oh, this isn't the official government site. They look pretty similar out there. I think there could be confusion. You know, I was recently promoting my new search tool on reno.gov. We use USA Search. And I can weight the results and make them appear higher in the search based on what keyword citizens decide to put in there. So my weighted search results appear at the very top. And I heard some feedback recently that someone ignored those because they're sort of trained to ignore the first results in a search because that's how Google presents their ads at the top. So I have to worry about my own content looking like ads. The nature of advertisements is that they are vying for attention. They want all the attention on the page to be drawn towards that ad. That's their purpose. That's what the marketing people behind it are successful when they pull your attention towards that ad. I already have to, and governments have to already compete with so many commercial websites. Now I'm going to have to compete with the own content on my website for content I'm trying to promote, for content that I have an obligation to promote, services and events and things like that from the government that help the citizen out. And now I'm going to have to compete with content on my own site because the whole purpose of ads is to draw your attention towards it. I was trying to think of ways that ads on government websites could backfire. First of all, how many times have you been to a website that just loads so slowly because it has those graphic ads? There's some news websites that I avoid just because they're selling ads and they move so slowly. In government, we worked really hard to try to optimize our websites so that they load quickly. Especially with the mobile government revolution, we have to make sure that our sites load fast. And that's one of the things that I'm kind of worried about advertising, if it's not text advertising, how fast it will load. Think about this. Have you thought about this? Governments trying to steal development from other governments, trying to steal business from other governments. If I am the state of Nevada and I can all of a sudden advertise on ca.gov, the California state website, I might just put an advertisement out there, hey, businesses, move to Nevada. We don't have any corporate income taxes, any payroll taxes. It's a great environment. I might try to steal their business. Or I could see cities doing this as well. If there's a thriving city that allows ads on their website, I'm going to post my city's ad on their economic development website to drive their business to my place. I don't like that sort of government competitive atmosphere, and I'm not sure if that would, if selling ads would cultivate that environment. So I heard a potential solution. Someone mentioned, well, what if we just allow governments to only sell ads to other governments? Then it alleviates all those other problems because it's just governments selling to governments. So immediately when I heard of that, what I thought of was, well, aren't most governments taxpayer funded? So when government A sells an ad on government B's website, who's paying for that? You are. I don't think that's a very good idea. And what about good old-fashioned intergovernmental cooperation? My friends over at Washoe County recently, they were having trouble getting some information out via the press on their special election for the county. And so, I didn't tell them, well, I can sell you some ad space on our homepage and, then maybe we'll run it for you. No. I just posted it on our homepage, and some neighboring communities did as well, because, as government, we're all trying to, we all want the same ends. We want thriving communities. We want happy citizens who are using our services. So, it just really doesn't promote that intergovernmental cooperation. So in preparation for this, and this is my final thought, I was trying to think of all the reasons for selling ads on government websites, and I was going to have a counter argument for everything to take a look at both sides. And honestly, the only argument I could find anywhere was revenue. Revenue was the only reason for even considering selling ads on government websites. And if revenue is the only reason, in the words of financial expert Susie Orman, are you kidding me? All right, that is this GovGirl episode. Again, more on Local Gov Chat. Make sure to comment below. Let me know what you thought of the video and what you think of this sort of style. I kind of like just chatting directly to you guys, but don't worry, I will still have some videos with some funnies in there. I haven't quite put my sock puppets away just yet. All right, till next time, please subscribe. I would appreciate it to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/govgirlblog. We'll see you next time.